Hello, everyone. Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we'll be doing a review for Brynmore #1. This is a new book from IDW. Uh, I had no idea about anything that was going to happen in this book. This was not on my radar. But we recently started working with IDW to get some of their comics in advance and get them reviewed on the channel. And I jumped at the chance to look into this one, which was a really neat surprise. But let's talk about the creative team before we get into that. Brynmore is written by Steve Niles with art by Damien Worm, art assist by Alicia Zerno, and letters by Taylor Sposito. Uh, let's talk a little bit about this story here from the creators of the October Faction. Steve Niles and Damien Worm comes a new horror tale. Brynmore, recently divorced and sober Mark Turner, has turned to his hometown looking for a second chance. He'll rebuild the old church into a new home if the locals let him. But Turner Island has a secret, one tracing back to when it was named after Mark's ancestor. Who or what is Brynmore? Yeah, I mean, just from looking at the cover, you already know that you're in for quite a ride. Like, the cover tells you a lot, and that was one of the things that I was really excited about for this book. Right, it's a beautiful cover, but more than that, tonally is just a very jarring cover. And yeah, you definitely get the small town vibe, like this setting of this island. It reminds me a little bit of like the fog or stuff like that, where the founding fathers were a long time ago, and now the weight of what that tradition and that brings to a person. Obviously, Mark has a lot of troubles, has a lot of issues that he's fighting against and dealing with. All that while also not being able to find someone to help him in the town. Like, he's pretty much on his own. He has confrontations with people from the town, but only because they antagonize him, which it really sucks for the character. Let's take a look a little bit at the art here. I think Damien Worm and the team really do an impressive job at just setting up. Like, this is a great setup page. Like, you get the narration, but then you get to see all the little details. Obviously, you get to see that this is a town where you have to go into through a ferry or an island. Like, it's not something that is easily accessible, which makes for a really cool setting already. I love the look of the mid afternoon, or like as the night kind of starts falling. Um, and yeah, the tone of the book, the colors on this book, like, for the most part, are pretty much like this, very somber, very dark in tone. There's a lot of situations where there's not a lot happening on the panel, but that really just adds to how quiet this place is, and it adds a little bit more to the tension. I think that worked out really well. uh, I would say I would have liked to have seen a little bit more in this debut issue, for as far as a little bit more story, a little bit more of a hook. We do get a little bit something towards the end of the issue, and I think I'll revisit this once it's collected, or at least the first arc is done, uh, because I'm definitely intrigued. But this first issue, I wish they would have given one more, two more pages to kind of really cement that idea that I think the team's trying to bring. But overall, it's a really fun book. It's a really interesting story. I think it has a lot of fun tropes of this type of story, but they're utilized in a very fun way, where it doesn't feel like something that you've seen over and over again. And as I mentioned, the art is beautiful. The character designs are a little more stylized than I would have thought for a story of this tone. But I really I like that. I like that juxtaposition of, like, more stylized characters. And I didn't have any in the previews. We didn't have any actual characters that you could take a look at. But yeah, I'm very intrigued. And of course, like I said, this cover really sold me on this. There's some really fun variants as well that you'll see at the end of the video. But I think if you're a fan of horror, and especially if you're a fan of the October Faction that this team has already worked on, you definitely want to check this out. So it gives me a little bit of a Midnight Mass, if you've seen that on Netflix. Like, I get those kind of vibes. So if you're a fan of that kind of stuff, I think you'll really enjoy this. So, as always, Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.